Performance cars aren't just about raw horsepower. They are about how well-engineered factory mods can transform an ordinary vehicle into something legendary. Over the years, car makers have introduced game-changing factory upgrades that boosted speed, handling, aerodynamics, and overall performance. Some of these mods were race-inspired, while others were developed to compete with rival manufacturers. But sometimes, car makers nail it perfectly, delivering performance-enhancing modifications straight from the factory that turn an already good car into an iconic masterpiece. Today, we're looking at some of the best factory performance mods ever made, the ones that made us fall in love with cars all over again. So buckle up, because we're diving into the greatest factory performance upgrades that left their mark on automotive history. BMW M differential. The secret behind ultimate handling. BMW M division has always been known for making cars that feel like they belong on the track. One of their greatest factory performance mods, the M differential, a sophisticated, electronically controlled limited-slip differential that adjusts power delivery in real time. Introduced in cars like the E92 M3 and F80 M4, this system ensures that power goes to the wheel with the most traction, allowing for controlled drifts, razor-sharp cornering, and improved acceleration out of turns. Unlike standard LSDs, the M differential doesn't just react, it predicts. Sensors monitor throttle input, steering angle, and wheel speed to dynamically adjust how much torque is distributed between the rear wheel. Why is this a big deal? Because it means you can push a BMW M car to its limits without losing control. It's one of the key reasons why BMW M cars are so rewarding to drive, whether on the track or the street. Porsche's PDK transmission, lightning fast shifting perfection. Porsche's PDK, Porsche Doppelkupplung transmission is one of the greatest factory performance upgrades of all time. While automatic transmissions were once criticized for being slow and unresponsive, Porsche changed the game by introducing one of the fastest shifting, smoothest dual clutch systems ever made. The PDK, first introduced in the 997 Gen Porsche 911, allows for seamless, instant gear changes with no power loss, making it faster than manual transmission in almost every scenario. Unlike traditional automatics, the PDK uses two clutches, one for even-numbered gears and another for odd-numbered gears, ensuring that the next gear is always preloaded for near-instantaneous shifts. Why does this matter? Because quicker shifts mean quicker lap time. Porsche's PDK helped make the 911 Turbo and GT3 models absolute monsters on the track, with shifts happening in as little as 50 milliseconds. If you've ever driven a Porsche with PDK, you know that it's one of the most addictive, high-performance transmissions ever built. Chevrolet's magnetic ride control, suspension that reads the road. Imagine a suspension system that can adjust itself thousands of times per second, delivering comfort when you need it and razor-sharp handling when you don't. That's exactly what Chevrolet's magnetic ride control does. Originally introduced on the Chevrolet Corvette C5, this advanced suspension system uses magnetorheological fluid inside the shocks, which changes viscosity when exposed to a magnetic field. This allows the car's computer to instantly stiffen or soften the suspension depending on driving conditions. The result? A car that can glide over rough roads but transform into a track weapon in an instant. MRC was later adopted by brands like Ferrari, Cadillac, and even Lamborghini, proving just how effective this technology is. If you've ever wondered why modern Corvettes handle so well while still being comfortable, magnetic ride control is the answer. Ford's GT350 flat plane crank V8, the 8,250 RPM screamer. Most American muscle cars rely on big, torquey pushrod V8s, but Ford decided to do something different with the Shelby GT350. Instead of a traditional cross-plane crank V8, they introduced a flat plane crankshaft, a design more commonly found in Ferrari engines. The result was the 5.2 liters Voodoo V8, which revs all the way up to 8,250 RPM, a figure unheard of in American muscle cars. This high-revving beast delivered 526 horsepower, a spine-tingling exhaust note, and instant throttle response, making the GT350 one of the best-sounding and best driving Mustangs ever. So why is this such a game changer? Because flat plane crank engines are lighter and rev more freely, meaning you get a more responsive, track-focused driving experience. Ford brought European-style high revving performance to the muscle car world, and the GT350 instantly became a legend because of it. Performance cars aren't just about raw horsepower. They are about how well-engineered factory mods can transform an ordinary vehicle into something legendary. Over the years, car makers have introduced game-changing factory upgrades that boosted speed, handling, aerodynamics, and overall performance. Some of these mods were race-inspired, while others were developed to compete with rival manufacturers. But sometimes, car makers nail it perfectly. Dodge's Hellcat supercharger -700 and 7 HP straight from the factory. When Dodge dropped the Hellcat engine in 2015, they made one thing clear: they weren't messing around. This supercharged 6.2 liters HEMI V8 cranked out 707 horsepower, making the Dodge Challenger and Charger Hellcat the most powerful muscle cars ever built straight from the factory. The real star of the show, the 2.4 liters twin-screw supercharger, which delivers massive amounts of boost, 11.6 ATTESA, and that signature Hellcat whine. Dodge didn't just build a powerful engine, they engineered a factory mod that took American muscle cars to insane new levels. Why is this a legendary factory upgrade? Because it brought supercar level power to the masses at an affordable price. The Hellcat engine became so popular that Dodge stuffed it into everything, including the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, Ram TRX, and even the Dodge Durango. Nissan GT-R's ATTESA AWD, intelligent traction like no other. The Nissan GT-R R35 is often called a supercar killer, and a big part of that comes from its ATTESA ETS Pro all-wheel drive system. Unlike traditional AWD setups, this one doesn't just send power to all four wheels. It actively adjusts torque between the front and rear axles based on driving conditions. The result? Insane grip, brutal acceleration, and incredible stability at high speed. The GT-R can launch from 0 to 60 mph in under 3 seconds, and much of that comes down to how well ATTESA manages traction and power delivery. Most AWD systems are meant for bad weather. This one was built for dominating racetracks. Nissan perfected the balance between control and power, making the GT-R one of the most respected performance cars of its time. Ferrari's side slip control, drifting made easy. Ferraris have always been known for ridiculous power and high-speed thrills, but in the past, they weren't always the easiest cars to control. That changed when Ferrari introduced side slip control, a factory performance mod that made drifting and power sliding easier and more intuitive. SSC first appeared in the Ferrari 458 Speciale and has been refined in newer models like the F8 Tributo. It constantly monitors yaw angles, steering input, and throttle to allow controlled drifts without spinning out. Unlike traditional traction control systems, SSC lets you have fun while keeping you in check. Why is this one of the best factory mods? Because it allows any driver to feel like a pro behind the wheel of a Ferrari. Instead of punishing mistakes, SSC enhances your driving ability, making Ferrari's mid-engine supercars more exciting than ever. Subaru's STI driver-controlled center differential, the AWD system you control. Subaru's STI models have always been known for their rally-inspired all-wheel drive, but what truly set them apart was the driver-controlled center differential. Unlike standard AWD systems that automatically adjust torque distribution, DCCD lets the driver take control, allowing for a more personalized and performance-focused driving experience. First introduced in the 2004 Subaru WRX STI, this system allows drivers to manually adjust the center differential to send more power to the front or rear wheels, depending on the driving conditions. This was a game changer for rally racers and enthusiasts alike, as it meant they could fine-tune their handling, cornering grip, and overall stability based on their driving style. Why is this one of the best factory performance mods ever? Because it gave drivers unprecedented control over their AWD system, making the WRX STI one of the most versatile performance cars ever built. Whether you wanted to dominate tight corners or slide through dirt roads like a rally champion, Subaru gave you the tools to do it right from the factory. When car makers get it right, factory performance mods can turn an ordinary car into a legend. Whether it's a game-changing transmission, an advanced AWD system, or an engine mod that redefines power, these upgrades prove that engineering excellence makes all the difference. Which of these factory mods do you think is the most impressive? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more high-performance car content.